Right. Welcome to Conversations After Dark. This is your favorite girl and host, Angela E. Stevenson, along with my favorite co host, Miss Celesta Williams. What's up, Celesta?
Hey, it's
Happy
happy.
Thursday to you.
Yes,
You
happy.
ready for this show tonight, girl?
Listen, I'm ready to hear what the men have to say. So yes, I'm.
Listen, they are in the waiting room waiting. Ladies, gentlemen, get ready because it's about to be lit up in here. I can't wait.
Ooh,
So let me start letting them in and let's see what these men are going to be talking about. Welcome. Can everyone hear, first of all?
Yes, yes, I can
Okay,
hear.
who's
Can you
that?
hear me?
I can hear you. Just cool. Take yourself off of mute, sir.
Dr. Anthony, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Dr. Anthony, but I think my other Anthony Wilson is having some audio issues. He couldn't hear. Let me unmute Just Cool. Just Cool, I just tried to unmute you. Now, what's going on with your thing? Can't unmute guests because they. Mike, you got to take yourself off of mute. You chose to mute yourself. Oh, he said 1 minute. Why are you going to be on my live and saying 1 minute? Really? Who does that? These people. Well, anyway, family, let me go ahead and introduce while Anthony Wilson Sr. is getting himself together. We have Dr. Anthony Wilson. I have two Anthony Wilsons tonight, Anthony Wilson Sr. and Dr. Anthony Wilson. Dr. Anthony Wilson, say hello to the people.
How's everybody doing tonight?
There you go.
Hello.
Hello. How are you today? The night, rather. It's evening. How are you? I think he has a delay. Can you hear me okay, Dr. Anthony?
Can y'all hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me? He can't hear me.
Yes, I can hear you. I am great. I am awesome. I am blessed. I am ready to go.
He said he is ready to go. Awesome. I'm so glad. Looks like we have one person having some audio issues, but thank you for being a guest on Conversations After Dark. I'm excited to hear what you want every woman to know. Do you have a list? Do you have a list of things, or you just got one or two things?
I think there's a delay.
I got whatever any woman wants to hear. So I think it might be a little bit of a delay.
Okay. Yeah, I see that. It's a little bit of delay. That's okay. We can work around
but I got whatever any woman wants to hear.
What she wants to hear. We want you to tell us what you want us to know.
Whatever women want to hear, whatever they want to talk about, questions they put in the chat, I got you.
Okay. Anthony Wilson Sr., can you hear us now? We can't hear you. Oh, let me add him to the stage. There we go. Let's see.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Praise God. Look at the Lord.
All right. Now listen, I don't know who bright idea this was, but I like it.
You like
we
it?
got two Anthony Wilson.
I know, right?
On the same show.
Dr. Anthony Wilson, and right now, Anthony Wilson Sr., but that's going to change for you soon because you're working on your doctorate, so.
I just got off a cohort class right before I got on here, so yeah, we're working on
it. Okay. That's cool. Well, listen, we're going to jump in. We got the people waiting. So, Celesta.
Yes.
We have two more people supposed to be joining us, and Just Cool is in here, but I don't know what's going on, but he said he'll be right back. So we'll bring him in when he's available to speak. Celesta, so we have two gentlemen here so far.
I'm rolling up my sleeves too.
He goes up his sleeve. Get ready, because we listen. I know the people got some questions for you guys. Oh, he said he can barely hear. I'm not sure why. But Celeste, tell us one thing. I'm gonna let you do the lead-in question. What is one thing that you want to know about men that you don't know? That you're curious about? It's a problem, anything. What is it?
I wouldn't say it's a problem. I think it's a question that some women probably have in their heads and wonder. I kind of know the answer, but I like to hear from a man's perspective. And the question is a common question. Why do men make communicating hard?
Who wants to go first?
What? Let me say that over. Why do some men? Because all men don't make communicating hard, but why do some men make communicating hard?
Okay.
We just lost somebody. Did we just lose somebody? We just lost somebody.
Yep, we did.
Well, let me go ahead and get you going.
Okay.
Just from a scientific aspect, women speak more words in an entire day than a man does. That's the first thing. So when it comes to communication, it's not we have an issue with it per se. It's just how we communicate and how you all receive it and how we receive it from you all. A lot of times, you all want us to be like your girlfriend, and you're talking to your girlfriend, and you want all these details, and you want maybe a long drawn out conversation. But we as men, we don't operate like that. So a lot of times, if you don't get right to the point, a lot of times we'll tune out. We want to hear, just get right to it. But a woman wants to give, it's almost like she goes shopping. She wants to feel the material. She wants to try it on. She wants to give all these pertinent details. And a lot of times for us, it can be irrelevant. So I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. It's just how things are, just from a uh, how we do what we do as men. So a man can be on the phone with his friend, boom, 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 have a conversation, and we good. Whereas you all, you
So
you
y'all
may
want straight and to the point where we want to talk
right.
and just talk it all out.
It's
Okay.
almost like it's almost like foreplay. You all need a lot of foreplay. A lot of times we don't. It's not about right or wrong. It's just the reality. However, when you with a man and you learn him, it's almost like older couples. And if you talk to older couples, some older women will say they know their man and they know what to and what not to bring to them. They know how to bring it to him and things that sort. And she gets him. He gets her. Otherwise, they wouldn't a lot of times stay together as long as they do. But again, I want you to understand. I'm not saying we're wrong and we're right or wrong in our aspects, just the way we are as men.
Okay. Just cool. Do you want to add to that? The question is, why do men make it so hard to communicate with?
David, you can hear. Why do men make it so hard to communicate? Good evening, first of all. I apologize for my tardiness. Had some technical difficulties. A pleasure to meet and see you all and be here on this evening. Let me say I will probably give some initially brief answers, and as the conversation goes on, they will be expounded upon.
Why is that?
Well, I mean, it's on the spot, and we're having a conversation, so we can elaborate as we go along. Hard to communicate. I think it in part it depends on how comfortable we are in the relationship. As he stated, we are a few of words. I know personally I am. If you ask me questions, I'll answer, but I'm not just an automatically descriptive person unless I'm talking to my guys. That's a whole different vibe. But in relationship, communication, I think, improves um, as we get comfortable with each other, as we get secure in our relationship. That allows us to become probably a little bit more vulnerable and kind of open up a little bit more. And then kind of go from there, with our partners. Sometimes we want you to know, how we feel, just kind of be in tune with us already. And I know that in relationship, that takes time.
Okay, so let me ask a question right here before I go to Dr. Anthony Wilson. So you and I have known each other for a long period of time, and I think our communication is very well. So when we're together, we talk all the time. I mean, it's like, so I didn't know that you're really not I don't know. So is it different? I guess my question is it different with male, female relationships, platonic friendships or whatever?
Well, in part, as you stated, we've been friends for a while. And I think you knowing who I am, that allowed me to become comfortable in your presence. Because a lot of times it's just you and I, or we may be in a small group of people. So it's a lot easier to open up because I feel safe with you.
Okay.
As a friend.
Okay. That's a key word. That's a key. That's very key. That's very key. The word safe.
Right. So let me just add another 2 cents onto that. In my experience, when you try to open up and maybe express some vulnerabilities, but then it's thrown back in your face, well, now you done shut me down.
I've heard that before. Dr. Anthony Wilson, did you hear the question about why do men make communication difficult?
And hold on, I said some men, because not
some men. Okay, because we know not all men, but some men, the majority. No, I'm just kidding. Dr. Anthony Wilson. He has a little bit of delay for some reason. Dr. Wilson, can you hear me? So some of the comments are men process, women want detailed feedback. Yes.
Someone says the difference in the way we communicate. Someone said we need context. So I will say this while we wait. I don't know if Dr. Anthony Wilson can.
I don't think you can hear us. Dr. Wilson, Dr. Anthony Wilson, can you hear us?
I don't think he can hear.
Yeah.
I don't think so either.
I will say this. In meeting someone, especially dating, I try to create that safe space to communicate. Because I'm really big on communication. And I also will say I'm not a mind reader. So I would prefer, if we are going to be in a relationship, that we work on that communication if that's not your strong suit. Because I don't want to read your mind. And I'm not going to read your mind. But that's just how I think.
The men say the same thing about us, that they're not going to read our mind, So, they want us to tell us, and, because I know a lot of times we're like, they should just know, but they don't know. So we need to tell them. But then when we tell you, we want feedback. We want you to respond to us. And sometimes you guys will give a one sentence response and we're like, is that it?
So you know what that means then? You have to take that opportunity to kind of, okay, if he's giving you one word, keep going a little bit further. But, just.
So we got to coax it out of him.
It could be. And again, like my brother just said, you got to look at his past experiences. He had situations where uh, his what he said may have been thrown back at him, and that's a no with us. You know,
Very.
No,
So
no, with me.
exactly. I'm gonna say it's the same with females on that. We don't. If I open up with you to
Yeah.
you, do not throw that back in my face or take it to use it against me. So I've had that happen. Dr. Wilson, can you? Oh, let me add him back to the stage again. Let's see if we can hear him this time. Dr. Wilson, can you hear us now?
Can you hear me now?
Yes. You take.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I had to go out and just come back in and just fix some things. It was irritating me.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Thank you. Yes,
Thank
welcome
you.
back. So we're going to allow
Thank
you
you.
to respond to this question. Why do some men make communication difficult?
Some men make communication difficult because of their life experiences with certain women. Okay, certain women in our lives that we've come across have made us see that you can't be completely transparent with her. Okay, and what do I mean by that is this: if you ask me a question and I tell you the truth, don't punish me because I told you the truth. Okay, when I give you the truth, let's figure out how we work through the issue together, so that way we can move forward and we can build and grow from there. Okay. Case in point, I'm gonna give you an example. I'm the type of man where I don't care how bad the truth is, just give it to me. Okay. Give me the truth. Let me know what it is. Let me process it. Let me deal with it. Let's go from there. Now, if I'm sitting up here telling you that this certain situation, this certain thing that's going on between us, that this bothers me, or I don't feel a certain, I'm not cool with it, or whatever it may be, or if I say that I did a certain thing or I messed up in a certain way, don't beat me up because I told you the truth. Let's address the issue and see how we can fix it so that way we don't go through that situation again.
I like that.
Mhm.
I like that.
Mhm.
That's pretty much what the other two gentlemen have said. Also, as far as communication,
So,
go ahead, Celeste.
you think sometimes the issue is the delivery? Because I know on what it is, how you deliver the issue to me will determine how I will respond. You just can't come. This is me. You can't talk to me sideways and think you're gonna get a good result. No, talk to me nice. Let's have adult conversation, but don't be talking crazy and think that just don't work. And that goes both ways. I'm not your mother, so I'm not gonna talk to you like I'm your mother. And you're not my dad, so you can't talk to me like you're my dad. We're in a relationship, we're adults. This is why again I said last week, building a friendship before going into a relationship is so important, so you can start to learn that person. That's how you learn a person, is building a friendship. I think you go to bed too quick, you done messed everything up. But let's build a friendship so I can learn some of your likes and your dislikes, and we can grow from there. So I think it's how you deliver.
I think on the whole communication piece is that we all communicate differently. So it's taking the time to understand communication styles, So I ask a lot of questions. So if I'm asking you questions, then I want answers. I know someone said men use fewer words than we do. So I'm just like, okay, I need details. I need to ask more. So it's not that I'm trying to interrogate you. I'm trying to beat you up. It's just like, I'm not satisfied yet with the answers. So I'm asking more questions, but I get it. So I think sometimes we just need to figure out, how can I get what I want from this person, the information that I need, without making them feel some kind of way. And they learn what my communication styles are as well. Someone says emotional intelligence on both ends is necessary. We all communicate differently, and we all hear from our own place. Directness is not rudeness. That's true. Directness is not rudeness. That is
Very
true.
true. Very true. But at the same time, too, like Miss Alessa said,
Yes,
it has to be you have to focus on how you deliver a question or how you deliver a statement. Okay, because keep this in mind. In a relationship, yes, the man is the head. All right, but I'm a firm believer that the woman is the neck.
Come on.
Okay. And the woman has the ability to turn that head in any direction that she needs it to
That's
go.
right.
So that way she can get a certain thing accomplished through that man.
That's
Okay.
right.
But understand this. If you're talking to me grimy, guess what? Let me tell you something about us men. I don't know. Let me say this. I know about me. If you're talking to me grimy, I got a switch in my head. I can flip it off and I can look you dead in your face like I'm paying 100% attention to you. And I ain't heard not one word you said. The only thing I'm doing is waiting for you to stop talking so I can leave the room. All right. That's it. That's all. It ain't even about I want to hear what you got to say any longer. It's not about I don't care about what it is that's going on. You done already disrespected me. You done put me on the defensive. Okay. So guess what? I just want to get out the situation and move on. But here's the flip side to that. If you structure your words correctly and you approach me in a right tone, I will hear, process, and interact and react with every single thing you said to me. I will take it and I will do what I need to do to make sure that everything you said is getting addressed.
Y'all hear that, ladies? Now that he just dropped y'all some key nuggets. Dropped us some key nuggets.
Now, but let me say this. Now, let's put this in context so y'all be absolutely clear about this. So you won't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Brother Wilson, that's him. And a lot of guys are not the same caliber he is. So, you know, you may have to work a little bit harder in a situation, but he's true in the fact of how you talk to us.
That's right.
Because this show tonight
is how you talk to them. Yes.
What this show is about tonight is what you all want to know from us, or rather, what every man wants every woman to know. And one of those things, it is critical. It's called respect.
That's it.
Angela, you know, I put it in my book, but when you talk about respect, because respect is about properly dealing with a man's ego. Because if you come at us sideways, you're going to have some trouble to the point that we will check out the relationship mentally and emotionally, and then you in trouble. Because guess what? We still probably pay the bills. We probably gonna take little Junior to the football game. We still gonna have sex with you, but we have mentally checked out, and that's a problem. So, but yeah, he's right about that. And I'm the same way.
I hear you. I want to move to the next question, but you just said something. So why not, if you've checked out or we have come at you wrong, because maybe we don't know that we have. Sometimes we do. Now, some women just pop off. I get it. So, but if we are coming to you the best way that we know how, and again, I think it goes back to learning communication styles. So when I am passionate about something, I know this about myself. My voice will go an octave higher. I am not yelling. I'm not screaming. But when I'm passionate, it could just be about, it could be about anything. My voice goes an octave higher. You may take that and say, oh, she's upset and she's aggravated. I'm not. It's just that I'm very passionate and I want you to hear me. But if you take that the wrong way, why not say, oh, wait a minute. I'm feeling some kind of way. It's a trigger, whatever it may be. You know, I feel like you're coming at me sideways, and allow her to say, no, that's not what I mean, and explain herself instead of just checking out.
I probably would give you that buffer there, but at the same time, it's like anything else. You may have to let that be known as you deal with the man. Say, hey, listen, there'll be times, you know, if I'm passionate about something, I may, you know, get a little excited, and because men, depending on what they're talking about, they may get excited about the same, you know, something in their wheelhouse, and you have to give him that space to express himself, and don't think, oh man, he's kind of combative. Maybe not, you know, but it goes both ways.
That's true.
All right. Let me just add that we talk a lot about the 5 love languages. And learning how to love your partner, you also have to learn how to communicate with your partner. that not only includes what you say, how you say it, but also when you say it.
Mhm.
I think timing is very important. Because if I'm not in the mood to talk, it doesn't matter what the situation is. It's probably going to have to wait unless it's an emergency. Because when I get home after work, I need a minute to breathe. Sometimes I want to chill out and have some small talk. Um,
And
you
ladies,
know,
don't lead with "we need to talk." They already on the.
Oh my God, no! Please don't! Please don't! Please don't!
Do not lead
Please
with
don't!
"we need to talk" because they
Hey,
automatically go on defense.
PTSD. We need to talk. That is code word for it's a problem.
It's a problem.
Yeah.
Do not leave with we need to talk. Do not do it.
Shut
Hilarious.
down.
And let's be clear about this one. Don't use the word always and never.
right.
Talk about that for a second.
Yeah, explain that.
You always, you never,
Yeah.
and that's not, and we know that's not true.
Yep.
Okay.
We know that's not true. And when you put it out there as if it is true, that we're gonna shut down because it's like, okay, we can't win for losing because I just did this last week, but now you saying I never do it, or
I,
you know what I'm saying? So it can be a problem.
Okay. That's
right.
good. That's good. I like that. I understand now when you say that. So now that was a good question, Celesta. That was a good lead-in question. I'm gonna go to Dr. Anthony Wilson. Tell us one thing. What is one thing that you can just think of right now, that something else that you want women to know that they may not know or is misunderstood about men?
Something that I would like for the ladies to know is that
And that's gonna be a question for everybody. So get your question ready.
now, let me say this. When ladies finally understand how much respect weighs in on us,
Mm-hmm.
then they'll understand how to get straight to our heart.
Mm.
I'm going to put it to you like this. I don't care what the situation is. I don't care how bad it is in our relationship. I don't care what struggles we're going through. Okay? If you are showing me that you respect me, okay, I will go to the ends of the earth. I will walk over coals barefooted to make sure this relationship works, to make sure that you and I are doing good, to make sure that you and I are staying together. I will work through anything, come hell and high water, as long as you respect me. But the moment you start disrespecting me, okay, that's when I start working my way to, as Anthony Wilson Sr. said, I start checking out. Okay, you want to keep me vested in the relationship? Keep your respect level on high with me. It doesn't matter how mad you get with me. Understand something. There is a respectful way to tell me what's bothering you. There's a respectful way to tell me what issues you have with me, the relationship, the house, whatever. There's a respectful way to get your point across where I don't feel disrespected. I don't go on the defensive. And understand this, when you sit there and you respect the man, that man will do anything for you you ask him to do. It doesn't matter what it is. Okay? If you tell us to go fight a lion barehanded, okay? Respect that man enough and watch him get out there in the Serengeti and be ready to rumble.
Wow. So Candace has a question that says, is respect relative to each man?
Let
Yes.
me tackle it. So to what he's saying, yes, everything he says is on point. Now she wants to know, is it relative to each man? To a degree, that's true because all men are not created equal, if you know what I mean. So, but given all things normal, absolutely, it is relative to every single man. Matter of fact, I would go as far as to say this, and there's research to back this up. We equate love with respect.
Mm.
See, you
Most
don't really
definitely.
have to tell us all. You don't have to say to us, well, "Baby, I love you, I love you, I love you." For the most part, unless that man's language is words of affirmation. However, your respect tells us you love us. I'm gonna give you a small example. A good example of that is if a man approaches you outside your man's presence, your respect for that man, your respect for your man, it will be seen in how you handle other men approaching you. Because if you're with me, I already know how fine you are. But if you are the kind of woman that you need to hear how fine you are from other men, and that's disrespectful to us, that is a problem. But if we know you can handle yourself, that is a form of respect for us, and that's a way that we know that you love us. Because let me tell you something, ladies, and give me clearly. Just because you tell another man I'm in a relationship or I'm married, that is not sufficient.
Nope.
Because when you say that, what we hear, what a man hears when you say that to him, that the reason why you're not giving time, space, and attention to him because you got a man or you married, you what we hear as men is, well, I would have a chance if that man wasn't in your life.
So what's the
So what
correct
we
answer?
going
What should we say?
so not only you say no, you just say I'm not interested because if you got a man or not, it's not his business. How you handle that situation is your actions have to say you have to say I'm not interested, and then your actions have to prove it.
Mm. Okay.
Can I just elaborate on that just a little bit?
Sure.
Understand something. Men want the woman that other men can't get close to. Any woman in my life, if another man can come up to you, wrap you up, and get your attention, that's a problem. That lets me know right there you're not the one.
Hmm.
Okay? Because if another man can come to you and wrap you up and get close to you, I don't want you. Because that tells me that it is a possibility that given the right circumstances, the right man can come and wrap you up at the right time, and he can sit up here and get you in a hotel, you know what, and be clapping some cheeks. Okay? Let's be real. All right? Let's be real. Understand something.
That's the
The right
truth.
woman, the right woman, it doesn't matter who you are, how much money you got, whatever it may be. She's going to make it very clear to any other man you are not available in any single type of way. Period.
I agree. I agree. Just cool. What is one thing that you want women to know?
You have more power than you probably realize. You can make the man's bad day bright. You can, you can help him fix, whatever is going on with him. You can flip a whole situation around because when your man is into you and you are loving him and respecting him the right way, like my man said, we'll go to the ends of the earth, to do whatever you need done. Just to fall back a little bit on communication, when we're talking about problems and addressing, and not every issue, not every issue has to, not every conversation has to turn into an argument.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I bring to you my situation, I need you to listen, address it, and let's resolve that. And then you can bring me your situation and I can listen, address it, and we can resolve that. But in communication, if I got an issue with one thing, I don't need to hear about your issue.
Ah,
So let's resolve things instead of going tit for tat.
that makes sense. So you're saying, in essence, if you bring to me an issue, I shouldn't be like, well, last week you did such and such and such, but I ain't saying anything about that
Right. You can bring that up, but not at that time.
at that time.
Because now you just want a rebuttal, and that's how conversations turn into arguments.
Got you.
You know what that also shows? That also shows that you had this issue and you were holding on to it, waiting to use it as ammo for at a later date.
Because you didn't
That's
say
what that
anything about
shows.
it right then.
Because you ain't say nothing about it at the time. Now, here's the thing.
Right.
I understand, like, if it was a situation went on and then you waited for a little bit for things to calm down a bit, then you brought it up. That's a totally different situation. Because what you was doing was using body was a little heated at the time. So you say, you know what? I'm not going to address it right now. I'm going to address it later. Okay. When everybody done cooled off, everybody done took a break, then I'm going to address it so we can talk about that. But if later on, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month later on down the road, I bring an issue to you, and as soon as I bring my issue to you, your rebuttal is, well, you did da 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 da. That tells me that you was holding on to it for ammo, not because you had an issue that you wanted to address. You just wanted some ammo, so you go pow 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 pow.
And I see it in the comments, men. We have to do the same. If a woman brings her issue to us first, let's listen to her, because we're in this thing together.
Absolutely.
That's what teamwork is about.
That's right.
Yes.
Getting resolution, because in my experience, we went back and forth and nothing ever got resolved. So the little things turned into big things. The big things turned into mountains. And
exactly.
Here I am.
Okay.
I have a question. Are any of you gentlemen married?
I'm divorced.
There is a woman in my life, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
Okay.
Man, Anthony Wilson, Dr. Anthony Wilson, you just said that. You just said something, but it brought up something that someone said to me one time, that even if we don't see a woman, there's always a woman. Now, you admit openly, publicly, that you have someone in your life, but sometimes men don't say that they have someone, or it looks like they're single because we never see them with anyone. So we assume that there's no one. But a man said that even though you may not see a woman, there's always a woman. Does that hold true for you guys?
Not all the time. Not all the time. Not all the time. Okay, because for a long while I have been single. Okay, and women thought there was a woman there, but it wasn't a woman there. All right. Now, the thing is, with me, I'm a firm believer that, there are certain things that we need to keep private, okay, for a season, right? Because we have people out here that I'm pretty sure a few other people might call them this, but there are people out here that I like to call dream killers, okay? The moment you make it public that you with somebody or you got somebody in your life, whatever it may be, that's when they go to work trying to do anything and everything they can to bring that to an end, because there's a lot of people who sit up here and they have relationships with you going on in their head that you know nothing about. Okay. Ask me how I know about that one. So when you get into a situation, when you get into a committed relationship and you want it to last, build your foundation first before you go and put it on blast all over social media and everything else. Okay. Build your foundation, make it strong. All right. Understand something. I don't care what anybody's saying. I'm gonna put this out there. Social media has destroyed more relationships in the last few years than a little bit. Okay. We ain't talking about all this other stuff with just, infidelity and everything else. Social media itself has destroyed so many different relationships. Why? Because people get into a relationship. The first thing they do, they want to post their mate. They want to post this person, post that person. Next thing you know, guess what? You got somebody going behind you. They trying to go all up on your page. They're going up on this person's page. They going to find your ex. They're going to go find this. They sitting up here doing a criminal search on you. They doing this, that, and the other. They trying to track you down and everything else. And next thing you know, they sending your mate numbers, sending this person information. They emailing that person. The next thing you know, your relationship is destroyed, all because you didn't use wisdom to build your foundation before you put it out there to the world. Your foundation got to be strong. Understand something. A strong foundation will keep a relationship together through the toughest storms. But if you don't first build that foundation, guess what? As soon as you sit up and start putting it out there, you're going to have women coming after you. You're going to have men coming after her, and vice versa. Okay? You're going to have all these people praying against you, talking about you, talking against you, assaulting your character, assaulting her character, talking about her ex, talking about your ex, talking about y'all kids, talking about they don't do this,
everything
they
that
don't
they
do
think
that.
they know about you. Yeah.
Exactly. So keep it private. Build your foundation. Then once your foundation is strong, go ahead and blow it up to the world. Because by that point, it ain't nothing you can say or anybody else can do that can break y'all up.
Celeste.
I want to respond to what he just said. I'm a firm believer about not posting prematurely, but people can only do what you allow them to do. If you allow people in your inbox and you entertain that, that's a problem for you, because now you are entertaining what these people say instead of shutting it down or ignoring the message. People will only do what you allow them to do. If you allow them to bring garbage to you and you decide to be the garbage can to hold the trash, then that's what you're going to be. You're going to hold the trash. You're going to be a garbage can, and that garbage is going to spill over into your relationship. So It's called ignore, delete, or block.
I think that's true too, Celeste, but I also think sometimes the seed has been planted for some people. So you may shut it down, but then it's like, where'd they get that from? Or why did they say that? You know? And so like he was saying, if your foundation is firm and you've already taken the time and you know your mate, then you're not going to allow any of that to take root. But some people who are still weak-minded or they still building their foundation, that seed gonna sit in and be like, well, such and such said, I heard this. Or if they do, the seed's been planted, they do one thing that it alludes to something that they said, and then they're like, oh, but that's probably what he or she is talking about. So now you got this issue that it don't even have anything to do with your mate. It's what somebody, a seed have been planted. So and you letting it fester. So I can understand and agree that, and I learned the hard way from that as well. Keep your business off of Facebook. Keep it off Facebook. Because all people on social media, friends, your friends, they just friends. They looking. You know, it's just like entertainment. That's why we in all these celebrities' lives, because it's entertainment. We nosy. We want to know what's going on. Same with you. Like, okay, are they together? How long they been together? Okay, well, he cute. No, she ain't cute. Oh, how you with her? You know, she tried to talk to me or he tried to talk to me. I just seen her. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. Dr. Wilson.
Yes, ma'am.
One thing you want women to know.
One thing I want women to know. Dr. Wilson or Anthony?
I'm sorry,
Anthony Wilson.
Anthony Wilson Sr. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Y'all confusing me already.
Well, it is just funny how Dr. Wilson kind of touched what I was going to actually deal with. I was going to tell women that social media, don't let social media destroy your ability to have a relationship, to the point that, number one, stop trying to be in competition with the next chick.
With the next who?
With the next woman.
Okay.
Listen, people can be whoever they want to be on social media. They can look like $1 million bucks and so forth. But like he was saying, it has damaged a lot of people. So this is what's happening. I'm gonna give you a good example. I know people right now who present something on social media that I know is not true. Now I don't put people's business out there because I'm very big on confidentiality when I deal with people, but I know people whose situation is not what they see on social media. So guess what? Mm-hmm. Just because you see someone on social media now, you want that. You want that. And I see all these marriage proposals and stuff like that. Guess what? A marriage proposal, a wedding, a ring does not make a marriage. Some of the most beautiful marriage proposals, some of the most elaborate weddings I've seen in the world have ended in divorce.
This is true. That's true.
And I end with this. And I want to say this. I want every woman to know this. Every woman that want to get married probably won't get married.
That's true.
Why do you
Why
say
y'all
that?
quiet?
I mean, I
Because
agree. I'm listening.
it,
I agree.
it's
I
a whole
have
bunch of reasons. We
no.
can go with the numbers.
I agree with you, but I'm not gonna bust anybody's bubble if they're believing for that, because it's not up to
Okay.
me to know. I don't know which woman who's gonna get married and who's not gonna get married. I think the same thing applies to men as well. Every man
Okay.
who
Let, let,
wants to get married
let
is
me
not.
let me qualify. Okay, let me qualify. I'm gonna qualify it like this. If you have been the kind of woman that you had a lot of superficial expectations and needs, superficial expectation and needs, and you passed up quality men that God sent your way because you wanted the superficial and not what God wanted from you, it's a great possibility. Now, I'm not God, but it's a great possibility you probably won't get married.
But that could be for a man too. I mean, I hear you, but that could be. See how my voice changed. See how my voice
Hold
changed.
on, hold on, hold on,
She
hold
passionate
on,
about it. She
hold on,
passionate about it.
hold on,
She
See how
passionate.
hold
my
on,
voice changed.
hold on. Let's be clear. Here's the difference, Angela. Here's the difference. And brothers, check me on this one. That is true. It's saying to be true for men, but men are not running around saying, "Ooh, I can't wait to be somebody's husband."
Well, we know y'all not doing that because
It,
you weren't raised, you weren't
I,
bred
I
that way.
want to get that whole some
But I
already.
feel like that even though y'all not running around saying I want to be married, I want to be married, and that's a whole other subject matter. We kind of talked about that last week. But the thing is, men are superficial.
Mhm.
Good women have been presented to men as well. I've seen it. And they've admitted it, and I'm just saying, I'm not saying, oh, I think she's a good choice for him. But when you hear a man say she's a good woman, but for whatever reason, she's a little thicker than I like, okay, but she got all these other great qualities, whatever the case may be. She ain't making as much money as I wanted to make, So this was superficial stuff.
Oh, wait, Angela. That ain't what the show is about.
But
We're
did you
talking
not
about
say?
what women. But let me say this. To that. So what goes north must come south. Here's the reality of that. You're
Darrell
right.
said
And
trigger.
that man, listen, listen, and that man, because he passed up the woman that God probably wanted him to have, he's probably gonna get one of them women that's gonna take him down through there.
Okay, I could get with that. I can agree to that. But I just wanted to be said. I have to represent for my ladies that men also do the same thing. But I know the show is about what men want every woman to know. So I have a question. Well, I did have a question. I forgot what it was now. Okay, this is what I want. This is what I want to ask. So you're dating someone. Dr. Anthony, I don't want to get you in trouble because you said you got somebody in your life, but you can ask this.
I'm gonna chime in.
What causes a woman to be friend zoned? Give me some reasons that will cause a woman that you have an interest in, you have had an interest in, you may have went out a couple of times, and then all of a sudden she's friend zoned. What happened?
She's not feeding certain appetites of a man.
Talk about
Okay.
it.
We men, we have appetites. Okay. First, it always starts with a visual appetite. Okay. There's going to be an attraction there because we're visual beings. All right. That's the first thing. The second thing is, can she feed our mind and I'm not saying this is for all men, okay? Because we know that we have a generation where there's a lot of soft boys out here, okay? So she has to feed our mind. She has to expand our knowledge level. She has to make us want to be a better man, okay? She also has to feed our heart. She has to feed our body, meaning substance, okay? Not just substance, but also the physicality behind it. I'm not sitting up here saying go ahead premarital sex and all that other stuff, but I'm just telling you that is something that is going to weigh in on it. All right. Then on top of that, can she show us that we can build with her? Okay. If she shows us that she's not somebody that we can build with, friend zone, you can be around for however long. And here's the thing. I'm gonna tell you just from way back when I used to be out in these streets, all right? I could be sleeping with you. We could be in a full relationship. We could be messing around for years. And guess what? In my mind, you're still in the friend zone. Okay? And guess what? Later on, after we done broke up, I can go and meet a woman who done fed all of my appetites and marry her in 6 months. All right? Why? Because she showed me everything that I needed to see in her. And here's the thing. She don't have to be this high earner and this, that, and the other, and da-da-da-da-da. She don't have to be all that. Understand something. Let me break something down to you about real men. Real men will date down for the sake of peace. She can be a waiter at IHOP, making minimum wage. If she brings peace to my life, that's my wife. Okay? Now, if she's a high earner, but she brings peace to my life, oh, you know what? I got my kingdom building partner. All right? I got my business building partner. All right? I can do anything and everything. When you get yourself a woman who understands how to bring peace to your life, there's no man on this planet that's going to let you go. There's no man on this planet that's going to treat you bad, that's going to treat you wrong, whatever it may be. What he's going to do is he's going to sit up here and make it very, very sure to you that you are the woman in his life and he can't live without you, point blank, period. Because you understand that when he goes out in this world and he's fighting all these battles, he's protecting the home, he's covering you, he's covering our family in prayer and everything else. But when he is stressed out, you just know how to, come here, baby, let me massage your back. Come here, baby, let me rub your hair. Babe, how was your day? Are you okay? What's going on? Those small little things they talk volumes to a man. Volumes. And I'm going to go ahead and pass it on to somebody else.
Someone asked, please clarify what you mean about dating down. I think you touched on it a little bit, but if you want to elaborate. Dating down meaning, okay, I'm going to tell you something about this. This is something that I need y'all all to understand. A high value man is not restricted to income. Okay? A high value man is not restricted to income. I want to say that, okay? But let's say you're a high value man, and let's say that you make, and I'm just going to put it in a box of income. So let's say you're a high value man. Let's say you make 150, 200, 300,000, whatever a year, right? Dating down for a man that makes that kind of money is dating a woman who's not even nowhere near his tax bracket, okay? He's willing to mess around with a woman who, if things go wrong, he would have to eventually take care of because he changed her style of living, right? He would much more rather that he knows that she's not in his tax bracket just for the sake of peace over than dealing with a woman who makes the exact same amount of money as him or more. Okay? Understand something, ladies. Let me give y'all, this is a little nugget I'm gonna give y'all, ladies. Okay? The amount of money you make means absolutely nothing to a real man. You might as well not make no money, because you want to know why? Because a real man, we don't give a crap about what you bring in the house, because we ain't looking for you to help pay the bills. We ain't looking for you to pay the freaking car note. We ain't looking for you to pay the insurance. Your money can be your money. You bring peace to my life, guess what? You can be my wife. All right, I like that. Yes, Celeste, right quick.
So Tommy Williams said, the question is, do these women know how to meet the needs of that man and help him fulfill his goals. I will say this because I thought about that. Some women are good women. They just don't know how to nurture that part of a man. Are you willing to teach her or help her learn who you are and what you need?
Let me tackle that. So, with that being said, another quality of a real man falls within the purpose for which God has made us, and that is to cultivate. So there's aspects of a woman that she's not gonna come with everything. So
Right.
we have to cultivate. So in that aspect, we will have to share with her those things uh, that we need, and she be willing to help meet those needs. The issue is we live in a society now where again women have these unrealistic expectations, and I don't know where they get it from other than fantasizing about the life of celebrities and so forth and saying, I want that lifestyle. But guess what? It doesn't work that way. It does not work that way at all. And reality says this: you have to, as my brother said, you have to, a man needs somebody that he can build with, and then he can cultivate uh, what's needed. And when I tell you peace is so critical, that's why, a lot of times men may come home. And like my brother said, don't just attack us, but a lot of men, they'll come and sit in their car an hour, hour and a half before they walk in their house so they can get themselves together to have to come deal with some women. And let me just throw it out here. The Bible says that a man will stay on the rooftop of his house than have to deal with a brawling woman on the inside. He would rather live on the corner of his roof in the cold, in the hot, than to deal
with a blanket in the
and
tent.
because it is something about a woman's voice. It's something about how a woman communicates. It's something about how a woman says what she says. And my brother uh, said it earlier. You all just don't know how much power you have. I call it the Eve effect.
Don't you start.
So can I really? I want to interject right here.
You got 2 minutes.
I got 2 minutes. Okay, about a man will stay on the rooftop. Listen, I go sit in my closet with all my shoes for some peace and quiet because there are, and I know we'll talk about this next week. There are some men, and because I've experienced this myself, there are some men that were raised by their mothers that act like their mothers. They're very fussy and catty. I'm like, oh my God, like, are we really about to do this? Like, because I don't care that arguments don't turn out well. So let's not do this. Let's have a conversation. Because if you keep at me, then it ain't gonna end right. So let's have a conversation about what's going on. But there are some men that are worse than women. That carry on way worse than women. And I always say it's because 9 times out of 10, you was raised by your mom. You didn't have a man to tell you how to really handle yourself as a man and not be catty and back and forth. So I'm saying I like peace. I don't like a whole lot of extra stuff. It's just too much for me. I shut down too. I act like you ain't even in the room and you can be talking to me.
That's true. That's true. Just cool. Did you tell your what would throw women in the friend zone for you?
In the friend zone, men, you have to be, you have to have some non-negotiables too. Red flags are red flags. There are yellow flags as well that would probably need to be addressed before moving into a serious relationship. I know a lot of times we like to bypass and not, pay too much attention to some of things and kind of give a little leeway. Oh, we'll get over it. We'll fix that later on. Those things are legit. I like what Tommy just said. A woman can do 2 things with a man: build him or tear him down.
True.
I had a woman that was good to me, but probably not the best woman for me.
Mm-hmm.
Not that she was a bad person. She was good to me, but she wasn't good for me. And that makes a big difference. So men, the sooner you can recognize, and ladies, you know, when you come across those red flags, don't just, you know, take all red flags as red flags. Kind of do some investigation and find out why those red flags are. What caused those things to be. If he, you know, screams, you know, in a conversation that turns into an argument, find out what his issue is. Because what I've learned in therapy, and yes, I went to therapy and counseling, and it's good for everybody, therapy and prayer.
Say so.
Yes, it is.
And I'm still learning. I've been divorced just made 2 years. I'm still understanding and learning and realizing that, you know, things in our childhood affect who we are today.
That's true.
If you didn't address some things that happened early on, you just kind of learn to live with it.
Yeah.
And now here we are 30, 40, 50 years old, wondering why certain things may trigger us, not realizing what it was because we never get down to the root of some of our issues. So if somebody's willing to work on themselves and improve themselves, then by all means, you know, work together.
That's good. I like what you said about checking into the red flags, because sometimes when, well, I think everybody, I'm just across the board. I think sometimes we see the red flags, and if it's enough red flags, we like move on. There's too many red flags to deal with. If it's one or two, then for women, we are nurturers by nature, I believe. So we try to fix it, or we try to look into and investigate and figure out what the issue is, so we can try to fix it. I think for some women, it gets us in trouble when we do that, though. Because then we don't know when we should back out, you know, because we're too busy trying to fix a person. My follow-up question would be, are men willing to do the same thing for women? So if you see the red flags or the yellow flags and slow down, let's slow it down a little bit. Let me figure out what's going on. Or do you guys tend to just move on because it's just too many red flags? Or it depends on what the red flags are.
It depends. It depends because quite naturally, depending on what it is, we will just jet.
Yeah. See, the thing is
that's double standard.
Here's the thing.
But we're not talking about what's right or wrong. We're talking about this, what it is. But
yeah, let's be real.
There's
a double standard in the world, period. Okay, let's just be real. It's a double standard when it comes to men and women. All right, let's just be real, truthfully honest. There's men can do things that women can't do. Men can get away with things that women can't get away with. Okay, case in point. I'm gonna throw this out there, and people gonna be upset about it, right? So a guy can walk around here, okay? A guy can walk around here and have like 80 women under his belt, okay? And he'll be looked at as, oh, he got some machismo, okay? He got some machismo. He's smooth. He a player, right? But a woman walking around and got 80 bodies, oh right. Nah, bro, nah.
That's right.
She ain't wife material, okay? It's a double standard. Understand something, because we live in a world now where women say, there's a lot of women. I'm not saying all. There's a lot of women who say that, oh, I can do everything a man can do. I should make the same money. I should do this. I should do that. When in all honesty, in all actuality, you weren't created to be our equals. Just like we wasn't created to be your equal. All right. There are things that men can do that women will never be able to do. Just like there are things that women can do that no man, I don't care how feminine you want to be, you cannot do it. Why? Because it's only designed for a woman to do it. Women are natural born nurturers. Men are natural born discipliners. Okay. We are made different for a reason. Men and women are made to come together to balance each other out and make the household stable. Case in point, let's look at statistics. Okay? Statistics say right now, all right, and I'm about to go ahead, trigger alert. I'm about to give you a trigger alert. Statistics say, all right, that how most houses with a single parent house where the single parent is a woman make the worst product. Okay, most of our jail systems, prison systems are filled with people who come from a single mother home. Okay, that's statistics, black and white. You can't debate it. But understand this, and when you look at both the double parent home versus a single father home, the single father produces close to the same product that the both parents in this home produce. So yes, there's a double standard. It's not going to be equal. It's not going to be fair. Okay, it's just that simple. That's how the world is designed. That's just how it is. But understand something. Can you learn how to operate inside those double standards? You sure can. And the question is, how much do you want to understand the double standard? How badly do you want to be able to operate to the fullest of your capacity? That's what you got to ask yourself.
But the question is, why is it? And I want to go. All you just said is great information and statistics. But why is it that if you see a good woman, she's a good woman, and okay, you notice some red flags, that you are just jet instead of taking the time to try to figure out where the red flags are coming from?
Because if I'm going to take the time out and fix myself, you should have took the time out to fix yourself before you decide you want to start dating again.
But maybe I feel like I'm fixed. But whatever it,
Yeah.
So hear me what I'm saying. It could be two great people, and he feel like, hey, I'm together, and I feel like I'm together. But for me, because red flags may be different from what may be a red flag for me, it may not be a red flag for the next person, vice versa. So for me, I may see the red flag, or say I see two red flags, whatever. I see the red flags, and I'm taking the time to kind of investigate: is this really who he is, or it's just situational? This just occurred in this situation, or is this an ongoing thing? But if I heard you guys correctly just a few moments ago, that you said you may jet if you see the red flags without even investigating. Did I hear correctly? First of all,
like I said, it just depends. Depends on what the flags are saying. You know, again, if we figure you're gonna be a problem, we're gonna move on. You know, we're gonna move on. But for me, a friend zone will be the chemistry. If there's no chemistry, we're gonna be friends.
That's easy. That makes sense. That definitely makes sense. That if there's no chemistry, then you move on. You move on. You guys, this has been great. Yeah, we're a little over our time. I may invite you guys back next week. The women are coming on. I have a panel of women. A few women are coming on to discuss. Huh?
We got to have our own day.
She said we got to have our own day. But the thing is,
and then we can combine. Maybe
like I said, we need a part 2. So we got to bring the men back for a part 2.
Yeah, maybe that could be our New Year's.
But we need the men to listen, because if women are saying what we want every man to know about women, then we need the men to listen, right? And then maybe they can respond.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, so y'all make sure y'all spread the word and be on here next week. So thank you. Tell us right quickly, Just Cool, Dr. Anthony Wilson and Anthony Wilson Sr., how the people can reach you. I didn't give you guys a bio, share your bio or anything like that, but how can they connect to you?
I am Just Cool right here on Facebook, just like that. JUS space COOL.
Okay. Anthony Wilson Sr.
You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook as a relationship mentor. That's the easiest way to relationship mentor. Pastor author Anthony Wilson.
So I had the pleasure of publishing Anthony Wilson's book. He gave the plug, but y'all probably missed it. The Eve Effect. We are waiting on. Is it going to be called the Adam what?
The Adam Effect.
The Adam Effect. So I had the pleasure of publishing that book for him. So go check it out. You can find it on Amazon. The Eve Effect. I have to say it's pretty good, but I agree with some of the stuff in there. Probably 80%.
Let me say this: if you would agree with all of it and do all of it,
don't you dare say it! Don't you dare say it! Don't you dare say it!
Just saying, it's a mean record. It's a lot of women, but they got that ring on.
That's another whole
Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh wow.
Tell people how you can connect
on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, the other little thing that Instagram put out to be the competitor of Twitter. Threads and yes. Twitter. You can find me on all of those platforms at the Coaching Apostle. That's at TheCoachingApostle, the Coaching Apostle, all one word.
He don't make find me on all of that. All the words, all of that.
All of that. All of that.
All of that.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. Follow our page. What is the name of it? Conversations After Dark on Facebook. What is the name of it? Conversations After Dark. Follow, like, and share. Somebody said that's a long name. That's a long name.
Lord.
Conversations After Dark. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Angela E. Stevenson, or The Takeover. You see it there. And Celesta, how can people follow you?
Celesta Williams on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. And business is Celesta's Bridal on all 3 platforms. And yeah, I have more, but that's good right there.
Okay, y'all. Well, thank you so much, and we will see you guys next week.
Appreciate it.
Conversations
Thank
After
you so much.
Dark. Everybody have a wonderful night.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night.